Hi. Okay, ask me stuff.
So what's your favorite thing about drag queen makeup?
My favorite thing about drag queen makeup, let's say doing my lips. I love doing my lips. That's my favorite part.
What would you say that your lips would be? Like, what would you say the most concerning part of your lips would be? Like, what would be the hardest part of it?
Getting the shape right on top and bottom, and making sure they're symmetrical.
Are you trying to get them the same? Or?
Yes, symmetrical. I want to be giving symmetry, girl. Ask me.
What's the one thing that you like about Trixie Mattel?
I love everything about Trixie Mattel. She's the most beautiful person on the face of the earth.
Well, if you could have a pet, what would it be?
If I could have a pet, I'd want I'd want a cat.
What would you name the cat?
I named the cat Tracy.
Why would you name it Tracy?
Because that's Trixie's nickname is Tracy.
If you had to meet Trixie in real life, what would you say to her?
I'd say, please marry me. I'm in love with you.
What if she rejected?
I'd have to check myself into a mental hospital. I would.
Would you ever go into therapy with Trixie Mattel?
Yes, I would. 100%. Yes.
What would you say that your favorite song is from Trixie?
My favorite song from Trixie?
Yes.
Okay, my favorite song by her is Jackson, featuring Orville Peck, and Boyfriend.
Why do you say that?
Because those two songs are my favorite, and I know all the words to them. Girl, stop moving the camera. Okay,
say one lyric from
which one? Jackson or Boyfriend?
Either.
Jackson, I guess. We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. You know the rest, girl. You know the rest. Ask me something else.
So,
hold the camera this way. This way. Okay. Next question.
If Trixie Mattel was holding a party, would you go?
100%. Of course I'd go.
If she was holding a party and you had her bring something, what would you bring?
I'd bring her a wedding ring from Tiffany & Co. and say, it's time to put a ring on it.
Why would you say that?
Because I want to marry her. I want to marry her. It's simple as that. Girl. Next question.
Say one thing that Trixie Mattel would say to you.
She'd probably file a restraining order against me. Low key, file a restraining order against me. I know she would if she met me. She would. I'm not bragging about that either, but that's the truth.
What would you say the hardest part about is getting your hair straight through here?
Through here?
Through the middle. What would you say? Yes.
Well, you have to figure out girl, I don't know. I just kind of brush it, and you see just where the hair falls naturally, and I just.
If you had to get a hair color of Trixie Mattel's, which one would you do?
I'd do her hair color in the Kitty Girl cast performance when she had
what colors?
It's purple and pink, purpley pink. I'd get that one.
So would you ever?
You're tilting the camera.
Sorry.
You're good.
So if you also could have met someone else, who would you meet?
Gottmik, 100% Gottmik. I love her.
Why?
Because I also have I'm in love with Gottmik, girl. I'm in love with Gottmik.
Why would you say that?
Because I am in love with Gottmik.
What would you say the hardest part about your makeup is doing? What would you say the hardest part?
The hardest part
except for would you say about your gems?
No, those are pretty easy. I can get those done in less than a minute, but the hardest part is definitely contour, especially when I'm doing drag contour. That's painfully terrible. I hate doing it.
What's the hardest part about doing the eyebrows for Trixie's?
Eyebrows for Trixie?
Yes.
I could not do Trixie's eyebrows even if I wanted to. That's not in my talent.
Would you get curly hair like Trixie's?
Well, Trixie sometimes has straight hair, sometimes has wavy hair, but I naturally kind of have curly hair, so yeah, I guess I would if I wanted to, yeah.
So, if you had to go somewhere, would you bend the rules and don't surrender?
Yeah, I guess I would do that. That sounds like me. It sounds like something I'll do.
Name one famous line that Trixie have said.
Maybe she was born with it. Maybe it's clinical depression. I love that one. It's on my lock screen.
Would you drag up your life?
I would drag up my life, honey. I already have dragged up my life greatly for the past year.
What would you say the hardest part about your earrings matching Trixie's?
Well, as you know, I always like to match my wife. I always like to match my wife.
Why would you consider her your wife?
Because she is. She is. She's 100% my wife. I don't care what anybody says. She is.
Do you ever have trouble with sometimes curling your hair?
Yes, because some days I have bad hair days and it does not want to hold the curl. It just wants to brush out and all of that. Here lately has been really good though about staying. And you keep moving the camera. Don't move the camera.
I'm trying to.
Okay, ask me something else. The video's almost over. Ask me other stuff.
What bag would you get from Trixie?
From Trixie or for Trixie?
For.
For? Okay. I'd buy her something from Louis Vuitton.
Why?
Because she deserves the most expensive thing ever. She deserves nice things.
How much are you talking?
I'd spend millions of dollars on her. I don't care. I would. Don't look at me like that. I would.
Thank you for this interview.
You're very welcome.
We are
Bye.
out.